We welcome you to race number 7 of the NASCAR IRWIN Tools Cup Series. This is the regular season finale at Darlington as we are here for Throwback Weekend, and we have 36 cars here ready to take on the track. Too tough to tame, as one driver is looking to tame it and possibly make their spot into the chase. 10 laps around this track, and it's going to be amazing. And we have a ton of throwback paint schemes. Half the field has some throwback paint schemes for this race, either to other eras, other drivers, to their sponsor, or to themselves. So that should be very interesting. And so with that, we're going to take a look at your starting lineup for today's race. On the pole, Kevin Harvick, he's locked in. And then Kyle Busch, he's also locked in by his win at Atlanta. Martin Truex Jr. not yet locked in. Brad Keselowski with his throwback, he is locked in due to his win at Kentucky. Carl Edwards is in by his win at Iowa, and Jimmy Johnson by his win at Auto Club, supporting the Lowe's throwback in this race. Kyle Larson throwing it back to himself, and Joey Logano, both of them are not yet in the chase. Matt Kenseth, he is locked in by New Hampshire, and Austin Dillon and his throwback is going to need a win. Ryan Newman and Jamie McMurray, both of them are sleepers. Maybe they can sneak in to the chase. Denny Hamlin supporting a throwback to himself, and Chase Elliott also. Hamlin looking good, Chase Elliott not so much. Casey Kane, Ryan Blaney, both of them could upset also and make it in on points. Paul Menard and then Jeff Gordon supporting the Valvoline throwback for this race. A.J. Allmendinger throwing it back to the Kroger car, and Kurt Busch throwing it back to Jason Leffler. He is pretty good on points. Casey Mears and Danica Patrick, both of them are going to need a miracle to make the chase. Eric Almirola in the STP throwback, and Michael McDowell. There's not much hope back here. Tony Stewart, he's locked in by his win at Watkins Glen, and Clint Boyer is just ready to move into the 14 car. Trevor Bayne and Ricky Stenhouse. Trevor Bayne is really falling off a cliff, and he is looking not very good. Stenhouse isn't either. Greg Biffle and Chris Buescher, both in throwbacks, but that probably won't help them make the chase. Landon Cassill and Brian Scott. Looks like Brian Scott won't make the chase in his final year. Matt DiBenedetto and Regan Smith both have throwbacks. Well, year-round throwbacks, so not much for them. And then we have Jeffrey Earnhardt and David Reagan supporting a throwback to the 2014 car. So the honorary starter today is Squid Jr. 04, and he is going to get this race started. Lap 1 out of 10. The throwback race is underway. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway at Darlington, a NASCAR tradition. Kyle Larson goes 3 wide. Is kind of surprising because that outside line is always the preferred line here, as Kyle Larson still 3 wide. Down the backstretch, Harvick takes the lead. They're flying down, and oh no, Ryan Blaney! Hard into the wall, into the backstretch. Caution is out really early here at Darlington. Ryan Blaney slams the wall, and I don't know what happened, if he got loose or he got tagged, but he hits the wall. We're going to take a couple looks. Yeah, it looks like from that look, Blaney got loose. No one got into him. It was just Ryan Blaney on his own. And tragic for Ryan Blaney, he will not make the chase this year. And he's going to have to come back in Season 3 and try to prove himself as one of NASCAR's rising stars. So we're going to restart lap 3 out of 10. And who's going to get the jump here? And here we go. Green flag is in the air. Harvick gets a run, but Keselowski gets a great run. Brad Keselowski is going to go to the lead. And we have 3 wide with Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. They head down in turn 2, down the backstretch. Brad Keselowski, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Johnson, Logano, Truex. They're heading into turn 3 and turn 4. Brad Keselowski, 3 wide down into turn 3. And we have Brad Keselowski lead, lap 4 out of 10. McMurray, Austin Dillon side by side. They have to make some. And Chris Buescher hits the wall. Caution is out. And big wreck for Chris Buescher and Matt DiBenedetto. It looked like Chris Buescher got loose. Let's take a look. Yeah, he got loose. I guess he got into the wall. which isn't surprising for a rookie, but Chris Buescher not going to make the chase. Matt DiBenedetto, both were pretty much long shots, so it's not like it's devastating as like we're Ryan Blaney. And you can see the 3 cars in the garage. They are all out of the race. And we are going to restart lap 6 out of 10. And here we go. Green flag is out in the air. And oh no! Keselowski and Harvick hard into the wall. Caution is out. Lap 6 out of 10. Keselowski and Kevin Harvick collide. On the restart, let's watch this. Oh yeah, it looks like Harvick wasn't happy with how Keselowski cut him off a bit, and the two of them tangle into the wall. And obviously, Brad Keselowski, he's just accepting the fact it was racing, I guess. And Kevin Harvick not very happy with Keselowski and his driving, and they're out of the race. And this is probably going to bump Kevin Harvick out of the points lead, so he could lose some bonus points entering the chase. So we're going to restart lap 8 out of 10 now. We have a race. Green flag is in the air. Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex Jr. as they are down on the front stretch. Johnson gets the early sail into turn 1. Hamlin trying to make something in the back. Johnson, he has almost cleared Martin Truex Jr. down the back stretch. Jimmy Johnson is pulling away. And wow, Jimmy Johnson in the lows throwback. He is doing it. Lap 9 out of 10, 2 laps to go. Can Martin Truex Jr. catch back up? As you can see, as now they head down into turn 2. Johnson stays out with the lead as it looks like pretty calm near the back. And you can see Martin Truex Jr. going to see if he can do something with Jimmy Johnson. But you can see they head into turn 3. And now they're going to head into turn 4. Johnson still with the lead. Jimmy Johnson can see the victory in sight. 1 lap to go here at Darlington. Jimmy Johnson has a steady lead over Martin Truex Jr. He's going to try the inside line. See if he can catch the 48. Can Jimmy Johnson hold him off and win the Southern 500? They head down the backstretch. Does Truex? Oh, and we got a crash. Big wreck at the back. Race is over. Jimmy Johnson wins. He is the #1 seed headed into Chicagoland. And the cars are flying by. What a race. And big crash in the back. And yeah, a lot of teams. Tony Stewart is the notable in this one that got wrecked. And that's tough for him in his final Southern final. Let's look at this. Almirola gets turned by McDowell. A lot of drivers have nowhere to go. But meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson gets the win. And Johnson is going to burn it down. #1 seed into the chase. He collects 2 wins and 6 bonus points. So he's going to burn it down. Congrats to the 48 and NASCAR Christian. You are the winner today. And so now we are going to look at our finishing results. Jimmy Johnson with a great finish. You could see back there we also have Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and then you could see a lot of the other guys. Kyle Larson had a good day like he needed. Hamlin had a good enough day. McMurray, Austin Dillon, not as great enough. And then the second page, mainly just a lot of disappointments involved in that wreck. Casey Kane has got to be the one disappointed in this one because he was really close to advancing, and he had a really awful day. And a lot of the guys back here were also involved in the big crash, like Tony Stewart. And on the last page here, you know, Ryan Blaney, tough luck for him as he was tamed today by Darlington. And now we're going to look at the chase grid. This is the part 1. As you can see, they basically, everyone did what they needed to do. So the same 12 drivers are going to be the ones into the chase, you can see. And Jimmy Johnson, obviously, he takes over, and he has won 2 races. And now the second one is the chase reset, as Jimmy Johnson has 2006, and Carl Edwards won the points. He's the regular season champ, so he takes in 6 points. Everybody else with 3 wins. Harvick, probably the most devastating on this list. He had basically the points lead locked up until today's crash, which kept him out, as it is going to be very interesting. So, race number 8 is at Chicagoland, the first race of the chase, and in the round of 12, as a lot of intense battling is going to go in the next week. And we're going to see who is going to advance automatically into the round of 8 and who is going to be very nervous after Chicagoland and who will take a big chase hit. So congrats to Jimmy Johnson for his win at Darlington and for becoming the #1 seed in the Irwin Tools Cup Series Season 2 chase.